we're gonna get definitely dinged for that. But,
It's like
who doesn't
old
want to
school.
hear Tank? Top of the morning, start the day.
I needed that. That was a nice pick me up song.
Yeah. It's a nice cleanse.
Yeah, because I woke up 10 minutes ago.
All right. Well, while Clay gets his coffee,
Clay's raw dogging it today.
Oh boy. Wow. If we didn't get dinged for the song, we're definitely getting dinged for that.
You have to. How long do you have to wait before you can raw dog something? Like 10 minutes into the show?
Oh boy. I think at least 8 because that's where the first ad break happens supposedly.
Okay.
So save the raw dogging for the back half of the show. Welcome
Stay
everyone,
tuned, folks.
Yeah. So obviously we know it's been a shit week. God, there I go. There's another one. But if you want to hang out with us for a couple hours, take your mind to a simpler time. And that's kind of what inspired this episode.
Yeah. This is a perfect idea.
Yeah, we're going to be ranking. We're going to be doing a tier list of movies from 1999. Now, there's a lot of movies on here. I don't know if we'll get through everything. There's even a category. There's probably going to be a lot of haven't seen, just because there's a lot. Then there's 63 movies in here. And like I said, I don't know if we're going to get through everything.
Whoa.
Yeah. But before we get into that, I do have some more bummer news. Tony Todd passed away.
Yeah.
I think yesterday is when we found out. That's when the news was out. I don't have a lot of details. Now, if you don't know Tony Todd, I think probably most famously known for Candyman. I personally really enjoyed his addition in the Final Destination movies. But do you guys have any favorite Tony Todd shout outs?
I was going to say the Final Destination movies. I like him in those.
He was so cool because he's almost like the gatekeeper for death or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Candyman for me. I love Candyman because it was a great villain to come out of real urban legends of America. So,
yeah. I think that movie. I did finally, when the new Candyman came out, the remake. Well, it's not a remake, I don't think.
I thought it was.
It's kind of like a weird reboot sequel thing because it does tie back into the first one. Because Yaya's character goes to visit the same place to kind of investigate the events from the first movie.
Yeah,
a rebootquel.
Rebootquel, yes. But just looking here on IMDb, some of their other highlights, he was in The Rock, which I think, great. I love The Rock. The Crow. The Men from Earth. I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
The Men from Earth.
He was also a great voice actor. Some of the highlights, especially for people that watch this podcast, he was Zoom in The Flash. He was the voice of Zoom. So yeah. I mean, great actor, great performer. So
The Man from Earth is good. I've seen that. That's a great flick that you don't expect. So if no one's ever seen it, I recommend that. It's worth checking out.
I mean, it's not like they were making bad movies in 2007.
True.
So with that, we're gonna kick off, and this might be like an ongoing series that we revisit. We did a little. I was talking to the guys, and this was probably before Jeff kind of joined us on the show. We did a show arguing about what was the best year in film.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I think too because of the generational gap, I think people tend to gravitate to something where we were in our teen years, and that kind of brought out the most, right? Because Clay,
86,
and I picked 1999. I believe Kyle picked like 1984 or something like that too. Like it was a lot of the 80s for you guys, which makes a lot of sense.
So nobody went with the year that The Wizard of Oz and
no. We were going for quantity, not quality. Jeff, do you have a specific year that kind of stands out in movies?
No, I don't specifically remember my movies chronologically like that. So I don't remember like 1984 was the best year that movie
Okay.
XYZ came out like that. I would just go with, I mean, like, but I've seen lists like that, and I know that, I guess on paper, I think it's that whatever that 1930 whatever the year the Wizard of Oz, and I think that's the same year that what's the Jimmy Stewart Christmas movie came out.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Like there's like 3 or 4 like just all time classics that came out
Okay.
that year.
1939.
That might be
1930.
a shorter bonus tier list, since I don't think there'll be that many movies. So let's move this along.
Wow.
What is it? What was that year, Clay? Or what else was on?
Gone with the Wind, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, Stagecoach, Wizard of Oz, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Destiny Rides Again. No. Wuthering Heights, Gunga Din, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I mean, The Man in the Iron Mask. And it's wild because I guess most of these, Son of Frankenstein, these were the first versions of a lot of movies that we've seen remakes of. So
yeah, because a lot of those, I think I've seen the remakes, other than like Wizard of Oz and stuff like that. Well, I guess I did watch. I don't know that it was a remake. I don't think they've remade Wizard of Oz. They just keep making movies around it.
Yeah,
including Wicked, which apparently is getting a lot of really good buzz. So maybe we'll talk about Wicked in the future.
Yeah,
but no musicals. All right,
I can watch a musical. I've never seen it. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just the drama around it, because every time I kind of look through news, there's someone's always upset about it, or there's something going on with it that it makes me want to just like not give a shit about it.
I see. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just tune all that stuff out because otherwise we wouldn't be able to enjoy anything. So pick your battle.
What do you mean? So we can't enjoy those Roman Polanski films?
Oh boy.
I know the song Defying Gravity, and that's where it begins and ends with me.
Yeah. That's why we're not making a Woody Allen tier list.
But like we've had one with we had a sci-fi reboot that had Zooey Deschanel called The Tin Man. We had do you not remember that?
What?
Yeah, there was a 90s Oz
I remember
reboot
that
was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Alan Cummings played, I believe, the Scarecrow. Then we had that. There was another early 2000s version that had it was just called Oz, with Zach Braff voicing in it. Yeah, there's been so many of these like riffs. And then Return to Oz, which I truly think is probably the only one that's a good film that stands up to the test of time, because it's just really dark.
The Wiz is out there, okay?
The Wiz. I know. The Wiz is great.
Oh, wow. The Tin Man is a miniseries. That's not... I thought she was going to be more Tin Man looking. But she's not.
No.
All right. Interesting. Sci-Fi loves the big swings, huh?
Sci-Fi was an awesome cable channel back in the day.
Yeah.
And then they bought into the reality for a while, and it just became shit. And then I don't think they've ever recovered to make anything decent, except maybe like when they were just going full camp and made Sharknado, and then they realized,
the last thing I really enjoyed on Sci-Fi was Alphas, which is kind of like their X-Men show.
Yeah.
But then that got canceled. But every time I scroll by on the guide, it's just like Face Off, and I'm like, oh, but not the Nick Cage movie,
the reality show.
Yeah. And then either that or like they just put it on Universal movies too, like whatever's on Peacock probably.
Yeah,
so it's all the same.
I think that's the problem with the channels back in the day, is they wanted to be like this specific channel, like, A&E was going to be this. It was arts and entertainment. They used to actually show like concerts and orchestras and stuff. And
Right.
The Learning Channel used to actually teach you stuff and not show people who needed mental health, and the same with sci-fi. Sci-fi was like, it was just going to be this niche sci-fi show. And I think
we're gonna be your weird cousin that's doing all this intense shit in the basement, and you don't want to be there all the time, but sometimes hanging out there is kind of cool, you know?
I wish I could find it, because at one of the old shows I had brought it. It was a sales packet from the Sci-Fi Channel.
I
Because
remember, yeah.
yeah, and it was pre-internet, so they would take these and they would give them out, and it would tell you the lineup. It was all like old syndicated sci-fi shows,
Yeah.
And so that was the way they were selling the channel, was through these packets to people.
But now it's like, I think every channel has like one flagship show that it's in their genre or whatever, and then everything else is just like kind of smattering of the same. Although the
Yeah.
History Channel tries with their little reenactments in between Pawn Stars.
I was just thinking of because you said that the Sci-Fi Channel mostly shows Face Off, the reality show, and not the movie. And I was like, they could pull so much, because they showed they could show old episodes of Battlestar, all the like Eureka, Warehouse
I
13.
think that's. Go ahead, Reed.
Well, what I was going to say but I think the reason that they don't is because the other stuff is reality, and they don't have to pay royalties or whatever to the actor, because it's just reality TV. So it's cheaper to just air old reality TV shows.
Yeah, and that they own 100%.
Yeah, they own 100% of them.
And luckily now we have things like Tubi and Pluto that do that, where they just stream those old weird things. So
see, there's nothing better for me, as an old person, than like turning on getting different shows that you like back to back. So it would be cool if these streaming services, and I know some of them kind of do this, where they put together bundles and stuff, but if you could do like Saturday morning bundle, and it just like randomly selects 4-hour blocks of different cartoons, for you to watch.
Even if in between there's like one that you don't really like, because that's kind of how TV really was, right? If I'm watching all the sitcoms on Thursday night, maybe I don't like one of them, but I'm watching them all because I like the one that comes right before it, and I like the one that comes right after. So
yeah,
because there's something fun about watching like four different sitcoms back to back, as opposed to 4 episodes of The Office back to back.
Yeah, it's like how we did back in 1999. There we go.
Ooh, what a segue.
Josh is really missing out today. Oh, I'll take my wife to the airport.
We gotten a Kyle update. He usually lets us know why he's not going to be here, and he didn't even let us know why he's not here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, after this week, I don't expect much from anyone. So I appreciate everybody that did show up. But that's what we're here for. We're gonna fill your brain with nonsense for 2 hours, and then after that, you're on your own again. Although we do have nonsense dropping constantly on this channel, so maybe just watch that. All right, so let me scroll down here. This is all the movies that are in this list. I didn't make the list. I found it on tier list. I went over it just to kind of check. So obviously we're gonna kind of run pretty quickly through this. There's only 3 of us, so like there shouldn't be too many ties.
Yeah,
we have, of course, the tier ranking, which S is like the best stuff, right? Best of the best. So keep that in mind. A through F, that's pretty self-explanatory. And we have a haven't seen option. So if none of us have seen the film, we'll put it down here. And then maybe we'll pick one of those films to do later on in the haven't seen category. And then, of course, if one of us has seen the film, then we get to, if only one person has seen the film, then you get to rank it however you want. I don't think we need vetoes or anything.
No. If we do, I'm curious what the movie would be. So
yeah, I guess if you have a veto, bring it up, and then we'll figure it out. We'll just kind of do this on the fly. I don't know if I'm gonna do these in order, but we're gonna start off with a banger, I think. And these will all start in category C, and then we'll pull them up as needed. 10 things I hate about you. classic teen film from the
Yeah.
1999. Heath Ledger.
Great cast.
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable cast.
I would put this at a B probably.
Oh
I
wow,
feel like
I would put it at A.
Oh, really? Okay. See,
Oh wow.
that's pretty strong.
I mean, I think it's one of the all-time this is a time where like it is the rom-com for its time, because there's not really a whole lot of rom-coms in this like in this time period. I think you find a lot of people that love referencing the Heath Ledger singing in the bleachers part. I mean, that's kind of an iconic movie moment.
Jamie got a gun. Oh wait, that's from the.
Close. It's
It
close,
did get
Owen.
parodied the most, I think. It was one of the ones that got parodied the most. Okay, I mean, I won't fight you on an A. Clay, do you have any?
Yeah, I won't fight it either. I think the cast elevates it. As far as that year though, I think American Pie is a stronger film. But
well, let's talk about it. Let's talk.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think American Pie is an A. I think you also have a cast that's strong, but only after this series.
See, I'm trying to think like how much of American Pie is because I like the series as a whole, as opposed to just like, well, at least the core movies with the core cast.
Yeah,
I feel like the second one's better just because like they found their footing. So, whereas this one kind of stands alone. Also, it's the
well, it's also standing on the shoulders of Shakespeare. So
yeah. So, so you're saying you like American Pie more than Shakespeare, Clay? Is that?
Hey, believe it or not, we're going to reach a time period where Shakespeare's stuff isn't going to be remade as much, and it's going to be actors who've played Batman more than maybe they've played Romeo or Macbeth or something. So that's just going to be really weird. But true. Yeah, I think even though it's Shakespeare, it elevates it. But American Pie, it had a trilogy. I think they're all great.
Yeah,
I know I'm rating it on just this film, but I think it came at the right time.
All right, it was really either way. How do you feel? Which one?
I think it does. Like, it is not my cup of tea comedy wise exactly, but I do acknowledge that it definitely hit with the zeitgeist. I mean,
all right,
people loved it. Yeah.
All right, we'll switch them around.
Yeah.
I don't think in the big scheme of things it matters much, but we'll switch them around. All right. Let's grab something fun. I want to grab the fun ones before we get into some of the stuff we probably haven't seen. How about Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me?
It's. I think at the time it might have been A tier, but I think it's B tier.
I think it's B tiered as well. I agree with that.
That's the second one.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, because the first one's International Man of Mystery, so this is the second Austin Powers.
Yeah, it's probably a low B tier for me.
Okay. Now, I will say one of the reasons I was also inspired for this show was because my friends over at the Austin Danger podcast did The Matrix this week. Like, that was the movie they were doing for this week. And I was like, oh, shit, The Matrix 1999. The world's on fire. Let's do it. Let's grab something else fun. Ooh, Inspector Gadget with Matthew Broderick. Who's the villain?
Never seen it.
You never seen it?
I have never seen it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't think I've seen pieces of it, but I don't think I've sat down and watched it front to back.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that I'm a
S tier.
S.
No, yeah, right. No one can stop me. I'm gonna put this at a D. No, I'm gonna put it at C. I think the sequel's worse, so I'm gonna put it at a C.
The sequel's worse.
I feel like it just took some of the fun stuff from the cartoon and they never brought it in, and that was the biggest downfall to me. It's still weird and goofy and campy. It's just like, I like the cartoon did so much stuff better. But anyways, you guys don't have to. Let's see. Oh, how about one I haven't seen, but you guys probably have? Galaxy Quest.
S.
Oh, S tier.
Oh, hello.
S tier all the way.
S.
All right. Hey, I can't stop you. I get it.
Banger. That movie.
Yeah, that movie. I mean, fuck. Like, I'm trying to think of a bad thing in it. I mean, it's Rainn Wilson's first movie. You've got Sigourney Weaver doing comedy in her genre of sci-fi.
Yeah, Hans Gruber. What's
Hans
his name?
Gruber. He's like such a serious actor in that, and he's putting that makeup on. Sam Rockwell as a supporting character, kicking ass. I mean, just so good.
Yeah.
And the story.
And I think a lot of people get afraid, like are scared of this movie because they don't know a lot about Star Trek or whatever. You don't need to know. Like,
you don't need that.
You just need to know they're on TV show. Like the movie gives you everything you need.
The thing I love the most is this is early pre-internet fandom. This is fans who actually love the property, as opposed to the way the internet kind of grew and fans started to hate what they were fans of. So it's neat to see people who were embracing this at the time because they were just Star Trek fans or Galaxy Quest fans of the film.
From what I know, it's not like a deconstruction of the genre or anything. It's just like it's an homage, right? Very similar to the Orville, just in a more the Orville was comedic, but I think the Orville had more to say.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's just like we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's like the Three Amigos. They think that these guys are heroes. They bring them here, and they realize, oh, they're just actors.
All right. If anything jumps out at you, let me know too. If not, I'll just keep grabbing random movies. How about Office Space? Let's do that. I work in an office, and I always look at the printer with disdain.
This is one. Yeah, this is an S tier, but it's one that's painfully S tier because it's so real. Like so real.
It's so real for us because it opens in Dallas and shows 6:35 traffic. So
You're right.
It shows where we live, and then is basically filmed down in Austin. My buddy Mark that I do a podcast with he was in Idiocracy. I'm sorry, he was not in Office Space, but yeah, he got to do a Mike Judge film, and he tells me about being cut from it.
Oh, I saw Mystery Men down there. Let's discuss that.
Ooh,
Mystery Men. Where at? Let's see.
Where did I see it?
Well, you talk about Mystery Men while I find it.
It's next to Drew Barrymore and Notting Hill, and almost there, down over right.
Now here it is. All right. Going back and looking at this, I think it was kind of ahead of its time, and people were like, "This is a garbage movie," but it's not really a garbage movie, right? I'm gonna start with a B on this one, but I feel like you guys want to go higher.
I'm gonna say S. And
S?
I'll argue
S tier.
I will argue S tier all day long because I still think you can revisit this. It's still fun. It's still funny. I mean, R.I.P. Paul Rubens, who's the spleen in this, who's great. I mean, the characters are insane but fun. Even the villains.
What is this, a Dark Horse comic? I know this is a real comic. This is. Do we know who
I believe it was produced by Dark Horse, but I don't know if they owned it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a real comic.
I thought it was a spinoff of Flaming Carrot.
I think, I know it's that sounds correct. I was gonna go high B, low A, but Clay loves this movie.
I love this movie.
We can compromise and put it on the A column. Just let me know where, Clay.
Top A.
You can put it top A. I'm fine with it.
So bowling ball above mystery.
The bowler.
Let's grab something else. Let's grab something weird. Well, I guess not from our genre. The Runaway Bride. I have seen this film.
Have not seen it.
I have not seen The Runaway Bride.
It's all you.
It's all you.
Okay. You guys haven't seen this? This is wild. It was on HBO all the time.
Julia Roberts films are like not in my top things to watch.
I'm gonna put it in B. I think it's fun. It's just not Pretty Woman, and that's the main thing going against it. That it's not Pretty Woman.
They wanted to reunite these two, but they couldn't make her a prostitute again.
Right. She's like, I'm not doing that again. How about Big Daddy?
Fuck, I love Big Daddy.
I love Big Daddy. I would go A very quickly on this one.
I would go B, but if you want to put it at A, that's good.
What, Jeff? Where do you have you seen Big Daddy?
I haven't seen Big Daddy.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm
We'll put it
just
at the
not
top of
an
the B's.
I'm just not an Adam Sandler guy. Like,
There was a period though where his movies are really good before the
Yeah.
Netflix years.
Before Netflix, this was good. This had a whole lot of heart with him trying to take care of a kid and stuff. And
Yeah, I think
and
from Billy Madison to maybe like a couple movies after this, maybe even the Wedding Singer is way before
damn
that,
it.
but that's
so
different.
I've seen Wedding Singer, which I enjoy.
I recommend
What's
51st Dates because him and Drew
50
Barrymore.
First Dates, and then the golfing one, Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Oh,
Those
Happy
are like,
Gilmore.
and
Billy
then
Madison.
Punch Drunk Love. Like those are the four.
Billy Madison. I was watching it like it was just on TV, and it was about to get to the scene where they start singing by the pool for no reason,
Yeah.
and where he's kind of rallying back up, and then his girlfriend changes from her outfit to like
Lederhosen,
German.
like
Yeah. I
German.
was like,
Yeah.
what is this fucking insane movie? But you know. All right, let's get it. Let's get The Sixth Sense. Let's throw this on here.
Woo!
Now,
Top tier.
we've all
That's
seen it,
gotta be
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this is probably the top of the S tier for now.
Yes.
Okay, great. I love the easy ones. And as you guys know, our word is final here. So
I feel like the Iron Giant should go up at the S tier.
Yes.
let's grab it. I know I saw it, but they keep moving around.
The best thing
Oh,
is
here it
that
is.
they've never made a sequel to it. It's just the perfect standalone film.
Vin Diesel won't come back. This is the S tier too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, probably above Office Space, maybe even higher.
I would put it the best. I mean, I would put
Okay.
it. I would put it better.
This and The
The
Sixth
best.
Sense.
I know it's two different genres, but man, they're both so
It's
good.
got more heart. I'll give you that. Let's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it did play a pivotal role in Ted Lasso.
It will
Or that
it
one
will
episode
make-
of Ted Lasso where they all watched the Iron Giant.
I feel like it'll make you cry, but it'll also give you hope at the end. And that hope, that ounce of hope at the scene is, I think everyone needs that dose.
The S stands for hope. And Zack Snyder knew that. Zack Snyder knew that.
It was all just a callback to the Iron Giant.
Let's go in a completely different direction and grab Deep Blue Sea.
Oh yeah.
A.
Now I need you to put on your objective hat.
Yeah.
Remove your hat that looks like a shark fin, and put in your objective hat.
It's fun.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. The Samuel L. Jackson scene is fucking great.
I would throw it on the A's. I'm not afraid of.
I think.
I mean, I say
are they able to swim backwards or something stupid like that?
I
know they're like super.
They can swim backwards.
They got freaking lasers.
Almost. Thomas Jane barefoot for the whole movie, just like he likes it.
That movie is amazing.
That dude's a wild cat, man. Have you seen him at cons when he does that? When you're like in a room and he wants to chat and he's like, "Let's go outside," and he'll hold a whole presentation outside barefoot.
I have not had the pleasure.
Is it the second best shark movie?
Huh?
Is it the second best shark movie?
I
mean, you got Jaws at by far and away number one,
right?
But then
Jaws
name me
3D
another one.
though.
Jaws 3D and Sharknado are the only and you can basically name 5 shark movies off the top of your head.
Yeah.
There's another one I like that's called Bait, and these people are stuck in a flood in a grocery store. That's pretty fun.
I like the Blake Lively one where she's stuck in. I think it's called. What's it called? The Shore. I don't know. It's like she's stuck in a little island. Like,
but I think my point is prove that like I haven't heard of Clay's, and then you can't even think of the movie that you're
fine.
Yeah, this is a top tier one. I feel like.
How do we feel about? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Clay.
Oh no,
She's All That, because that is for me an S tier movie. It is third row down towards the right, almost second to last.
Oh, here it goes. I mean, I think this was the second most parodied. I think the whole teenage movie was about
Yeah,
Hey,
not
this
another
one.
teenage movie
Not another
is
teenage movie. Yeah.
is basically this movie with a few add-ons from other movies.
When you think of like pretty girl who only has her glasses taken off, now she's like she was
Yeah.
ugly with glasses on.
See, I like 10 Things More Hate About You more than this one though. But I could put it above Deep Blue Sea. I don't know if I would put it above this one, but you guys let me know. I mean,
I do agree with that actually,
okay.
because it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fine
it
with
is
me.
a better movie.
Okay.
I,
But
don't, I
I
like
love
it,
that
but I
movie.
don't love it.
All
I
right,
like
let's see.
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s hacky sack poem that he has to do on the spot.
Let's put Kevin Smith on the ground. Dogma.
Up, 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 up. I'm gonna say A,
All right, all right. Is
and
it?
I'm gonna say it's better than everything on A.
Oh, interesting. Jeff, do you
Oh,
feel that way? Kevin Smith will love that
uh,
for sure.
It's the best Kevin Smith film. Period.
Oh, that's interesting because I love Clerks too.
oops, sorry.
I,
Yeah, I don't know if
I,
it's
I
better.
love all of Clerks, but when you get down to it, Clerks is just a film where he keeps trying to kill Dante. So I love Dogma because I feel like it's him really dealing with his religious shit and trying to make it funny, and then catching hell for it and still making that movie, then losing this movie and getting it back today. You've got great performances. I mean, all around the board of everyone that he's got in there.
We do have is in Salma Hayek God. That probably that should put it up there.
I
And
do think it is probably the best movie on this
okay,
tier.
I
Yeah.
agree. Kevin Smith, if you're watching, a matter of fact, we're gonna send you this clip. So let me time code it.
Yeah, Snoochie Booches.
Best, better than American Pie Mystery Man. Think Things I Hate About You. She's all that and Deep Blue Sea. That's high praise. I think.
If he had only put a shark in Dogma.
Only if only. Let's
Well,
grab.
now he can go back and do Lucas and add a shark. Now that he
Yeah,
has the rights again.
let's grab Stuart Little with Dr. House and Michael J. Fox.
I have not seen this movie.
I've
You
seen
haven't
Stuart
seen-
Little. I love Stuart Little. It is
You
such a
haven't
fun
seen Stuart
film.
Little? I think is Gina Davis the mom.
Gina Davis, the mom. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jeff.
Is
Stop.
Michael J. Fox the voice of the mouse?
He's the voice of Stuart Little. Yes. I would put this on.
I say
Probably-
it's a B. It's a solid B. It's probably the best B.
Yeah, all right. I'll agree with that because I was gonna put it in the low A, so that's fine.
For me, registering it as a kid's film, still wanting to watch it today would make it want to watch it higher. But I just kind of remember the wholesome family parts that were the best part of that.
Yeah. Now there's a bunch of edgy movies in here, so let's start with one of those.
Deuce
and
Bigelow.
grab The Boondock Saints.
Where's my Boondock Saints poster? Oh, I love this film. I love these films.
So I would put this somewhere around the A's, but
this is an A tier.
I've never seen this movie.
You have?
I've not.
You have not seen The Boondock Saints. What were you doing in 1999, Jeff?
You've had 25 years, sir.
Yeah, I know, right.
There's too many. So there are certain things like movies that have this cult following, and I'm gonna like, I know everybody loves this movie, but it's like the same people that like, I'm gonna get catch shit for this, but like the same people that love Chuck Palahniuk stuff. It's like just too edgy, and I'm just like, I get it. They're edgy.
We're gonna talk Fight Club. Don't worry about that.
Hold on, let me go get my Chuck Palahniuk books and let's debate, sir. Because I feel like Chuck Palahniuk had the pulse of Gen X in the 90s. So
I just it's too performative for me. I'm just like, ugh.
But
so I've never seen it.
Willem Dafoe's so good in it.
What's great though is a nobody wrote this and made this and like became successful on it. And there's a documentary about his fall from it too. So it's insane to see this guy who became successful, bought a bar, was making this movie, went to go make the sequel, lost everything, and had to bartend at the bar he sold to continue to make money. Yeah. The story behind it's amazing, but like it's just the fact of these two guys and vengeance. I love a good vengeance film.
He did eventually get a sequel though.
Yeah, he did. But the thing in this one is Willem Dafoe, man.
He's so good.
Good.
He's so good. I mean, the other guys too. The other guy, what's his name?
Sean Williams, Sean Patrick Flannery,
Sean Patrick Flannery, and
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Thank you, Jesus. No names today. So I guess Clay. My question is this above Dogma?
No.
Above Mystery Man? Probably so.
No.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I will say I do love Mystery Man and watch that more than I watch this.
All right,
And
we'll
that's
put it
how I'm basing it.
above. We'll put it below American Pie.
I have a fly in here for you guys just see me spazzing out and waving at the sky. So
All right, we'll skip some edgy movies for a little while. Now, this one I haven't seen, but I did hear my friends over at they made another one talk about Sleepy Hollow. Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Have you guys seen
yes.
Sleepy Hollow? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's really, really good.
I do. I haven't seen it since it's come out. So it's
Oh,
how many years since 19?
We've watched it in the past year.
I do remember it being pretty good. I mean, it's classic Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter.
Where are we going? Top B's, low A's?
Top B's.
I would give it low A's. Yeah, right around there.
All right, so
right above Stuart Little.
You haven't seen Stuart Little. That's not fair.
I would definitely. Well, I would tell you, I would definitely watch Deep Blue Sea again before I would watch Sleepy Hollow again.
All right, let's grab a more dramatic one. The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I have seen actually.
I have never seen The Talented Mr.
You've
Ripley.
never seen it? Oh man. I mean, it's a remake. Well, kind of an adaptation of the same book that it's been adapted a couple times. But Jeff, have you seen this?
This is not one I've seen front to back. I mean, I've seen clips of it and stuff because it's on TV and whatnot, but never.
I'm gonna put it. I want to put it below Deep Blue Sea just because it'd be funny. But it's gonna be an A, and we'll probably put it just right behind Boondock Saints. It's really good. Like great performances. I think there's a standout performance by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Mm-hmm. His character. It's not throughout. He's not throughout the whole film, but man, when he shows up. Oh boy, you think you're gonna lose. It's very thrilling. Like you're kind of on edge the whole time.
I mean, I have friends who love that movie, and they just recently did that show based on this movie or whatever. Talented Mr. Ripley, and they were just like, no, the movie's so much better.
Yeah. All right. Toy Story 2.
S tier.
A, S, yeah. It's up there.
Where are we going? Middle A, middle S?
Bottom S.
Bottom S. It's really good. I do love they include a lot of new characters that are a lot of fun. Yeah, great stuff.
Because typically we hadn't seen sequels that had gone to theaters. We had seen sequels go straight to video.
Right.
And so this was one that was really impressive.
All right, Cruel Intentions, because I think they're making a new one.
That's a good one. That's fun.
That's a high B for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say somewhere in the B's.
It needs to be above American Pie and She's All That, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
It's to me, it's that good of an adaptation, and it's better than those two other teen films, in my opinion.
See, but this one feels like it's so much darker in tone, where the other ones are a little bit more feel good.
Yeah, but it's the whole corruption of each other in that film, so it is darker.
All right, well, I guess we can average out and put it in the high B's.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Above Sleepy Hollow, below Sleepy Hollow?
Above.
Above.
If I can move stuff around. Let's see, what else?
Fight Club.
Oh. Go ahead. Which one?
Fight Club. Fight Club's in there. We got to argue about Fight Club.
I was trying to space out the edgy ones.
Yeah, the edgy one. That's the edgiest one of the year.
Look, Fight Club is S tier for me.
S tier.
F tier. No, I'm kidding.
I've read the book. I've read Chuck Palahniuk's books. I've watched this movie. This is one of the best movies. Fucking incredible soundtrack. Great performance. Maybe the best Brad Pitt next to that fucking movie he did with Bruce Willis.
12 Monkeys?
12 Monkeys, yeah. I think this may be his...
Wow. I did not expect you to say 12 Monkeys.
I was like, Ocean's 11?
No.
I was like, Interview with a Vampire, Ocean's 11? I would, it's probably I would say it's the best one of the S tiers, but I'm coming from my edgy teenage, edgelord self.
I mean,
Where
my
we-
opinion on this movie, to upset the
Here
Apple
we go.
cart, is
Here's the clip.
that we already know that how I feel about Chuck Palahniuk. I enjoy this movie. There's no denying that it is a masterpiece of a movie. Very well shot, very well edited. It is, again, a little bit edgier than I like my things to be. I'm just not into it. I'm just like, go get a therapist,
But that wasn't a time that therapy was a big deal. It was like work it out, and the answer to the Gen X 20-somethings that were there was capitalism, and that was what his character was focused on. Was like just settling, buying his shit, and being happy. And then when he lost it all, he realized the freedom he got from it. So it's like,
spoiler alert.
We can debate everything. Yeah, but that's the critical part of the beginning of the film before he starts building everything.
I will say,
but in the oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, spoiler alert, millennials also just deal with that shit by buying themselves nice things. So
yeah, the movie themes have not
the
altered.
message
I mean,
holds true.
Us or them. But like in the meta context of the movie itself, I also like that it bankrupted the studio, and like there's so much stuff that is going on behind this movie that I cannot deny that it is a very powerful
Project
movie.
Mayhem, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there under the. I'll put it below the Iron Giant. Just because.
So let's do something real controversial. American Beauty.
I've never seen it.
What?
I know. And then by the time I wanted to watch it, I was like, maybe probably not a good idea anymore. So you guys talk to me.
Wow. So that's what I'm curious about, because does
it hold up?
Well, does it hold up? Does knowing that that people involved are problematic change your opinion of art? So like if you did not know, so like if Daniel had not known anything about like if you were 20 years from now and Kevin Spacey's long since forgotten and you just happen to come across this movie, I mean, it's an Academy Award winning movie. Like, it's not a bad movie. So, but if you had no idea, I think people would just be like, this is a great movie. And then somebody could come along and be like, yeah, but the main guy in that, you got to hear this story.
Well, to answer that question, I'll tell you this. If I had ever sat through the whole of Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, that would be an F. Because of that same reason. So
American Beauty has a lot of other great performances. Annette Bening.
I hear that Plastic Bag just delivers.
Plastic Bag is great. Iconic.
But it is kind of cringe to watch this older guy kind of like lust for his daughter's friend, and there's a lot of cringe moments that back then was like, oh, we can put this on film, no big deal. I don't know. There's pieces of it too with his kind of breakdown and looking for anything, like smoking pot, working his old high school job, just kind of finding himself. I feel was pretty relevant at the time too. I mean, it's gonna. Fuck, I don't
know. Yeah, see, now let's get into it. I'm gonna put it between. I would put it at a high B between Cruel Intentions and Sleepy Hollow.
I would put it lower. I would put it under Runaway Bride.
That's hilarious.
I'm
okay with either. We can split the difference and I'll
split the difference. So watch Stuart Little instead of American Beauty.
Or watch them back to back.
All right. Let's grab one that I don't think will be controversial.
Double feature.
I feel Wild West.
No, that one we're saving for later. I know we said no vetoes, but that's my way. Let's grab this one. Tarzan. Underrated, I think, as far as the animated stuff from Disney. I would say this is somewhere in the B's. The B's.
See, that I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you about it. Like it's not a Disney movie that stuck with me, and I love the Tarzan mythos, but Disney just didn't do anything spectacular with it that reminded me of the film.
Yeah, I saw it in the theaters. But here's what I can remember is that they CGI'd him running on the vines and Phil Collins. And that's all I remember from Tarzan.
Dude,
Phil.
Phil Collins should earn this movie a B on its own.
I mean,
But
honestly, I'm okay with that statement.
we'll put it right here next to Runaway Bride. All right.
And I remember his dreamy eyes.
Do you guys see anything that stands out before I pick
Go.
something else? Which one?
Go.
Go?
Yeah, second
Ooh,
row,
I haven't
right
seen.
Oh, here?
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this movie.
You've never heard? Oh, this is a great fun movie. Y'all should revisit because this is like in one night and a bunch of overlapping stories. Has some great performances.
Is that Heather Graham?
Heather Graham's in it. No, that's Sarah Polley. Sarah Polley's in
Polley.
it. God, I'm trying
Timothy Olyphant's in it? Sold.
Yeah, William Fitcher is in it, and man, he is it. For anything you see him in, this is the movie you want to see him in because you're not expecting what you get from him. That's how
Dude,
much
this
I love
cast is
Go.
Wild. Katie Holmes, Jay Moore, Tay Diggs, Melissa McCarthy,
This
William
is why we
Fitcher,
need video
yeah,
rental places again.
Jane Krakowski.
It's insane, dude. I own that movie. It is. I
Okay.
love it.
Where are we putting it? I haven't seen it, so you guys tell me.
I would put it A tier, and I would put it above American Pie.
Okay. Clay's pick of the week.
Well, just because y'all haven't seen it, I really am just like, it's a must watch. It's fantastic.
Ooh, what do we think about the South Park movie?
Oh,
I was never a big fan of the movies because I feel like 30 minutes is probably as much as I can take of these guys at a time.
but the musical, Blame Canada, all the scenes
Saddam
with
Hussein.
Saddam and Satan,
Satan.
were so great. I mean,
It did. Is this where the relationship began? Because I know it continues in the show. But is this the meet cute between Saddam and Satan?
I think it is. Yeah.
Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is just a rom-com for Satan and Saddam Hussein.
Is this the one that has the Uncle Fucker song?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
See, I think this goes A tier, honestly.
I think this is A tier, and I think it's above American Pie.
Oh, I don't know if I would put this above the talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe Mr. Ripley might be too low then.
Yeah, I was like, maybe telling Mr. Early should probably be moved up. That is a.
Yeah, let's do
because
this.
I feel like if you watch South Park, if you watch Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, I guaranteed laughs. You're not watching that and not laughing.
Yeah.
Even 25 years later.
All right. Let's grab one I haven't seen, but maybe you guys have. Have you guys seen The Hurricane?
I have not.
No.
Oh, great. That's our first haven't seen.
What is The Hurricane?
It's
he's
Denzel
Washington boxer.
As a boxer. It's like based on a true story.
I see a whole bunch. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on Man on the Moon.
Let's do Varsity Blues first.
I've not seen
Never seen it.
Never seen Varsity Blues, huh? Jeff, have you
because
seen it?
I lived it. No. No, my son was in football at the time, and so it was like, you watched Friday Night Lights, you saw the stories they were doing in this. I didn't feel like this was going to be that big of a deal. And James Vanderbeek doing a Southern accent, I don't care.
Billy Bob was playing with a concussion, and the coach sent him out there anyways.
That's Texas football for you.
That's right. I would put this probably not that good a movie. We'll put it above Inspector Gadget.
Did you watch the TV series?
Varsity Blues?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Friday Night Lights.
Oh, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. I did not get into the series because I
did the movie on the series and have never watched the final season because I just didn't want it to end, and that's how much I love that show.
What does the coach say?
Coach Taylor?
Yeah, clear minds, open hearts, something like that.
Can't lose.
Can't lose. That's
Hot
our
dogs
Green
for
Lantern.
everyone.
All right, then you said Man on the Moon, which I've never seen.
I've seen it.
I think it's an amazing performance from old Jim Carrey there.
Yeah.
Jimbo. Okay, where do you guys want it? I want them to remake this film with Nicholas Braun.
That'd be amazing. I put it
Well,
a high B, low A, I think.
yeah, I would put it definitely above. Oh fuck, man. See, because when we get to the low A's, I kind of go, well, it should be better than this, this, and this.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than She's All That. So
We'll put it here.
yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
I will not allow this She's All That
I know.
slander to continue.
Now, how about this is another one I haven't seen, Being John Malkovich.
Oh my God, that's an amazing movie.
What movie?
Being John Malkovich.
Oh shit, that's really good.
All right.
That's okay. So this is a movie, like, you've got to be into weird movies. Like, if you're not into weird movies, then you hate this movie.
I've heard, which is why
but
I
if you are,
yeah.
But if you're like into, weird shit, like Anything Everywhere All at Once, if that's your jam, then this should be your jam.
Damn, that was my jam.
So I mean, I put this in S tier.
Can I take that much John Malkovich?
There's a lot of John Malkovich in there, but it's not. But it's not like. It's not creepy John Malkovich. It's weird. It's like weird. It's real life John Malkovich.
Yeah, it's all. And best Cameron Diaz.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Best Cameron Diaz.
All right, so where are we going with it? A.
I put it S tier. I put it low S tier.
I put it low S tier.
Okay.
I'm at the very bottom of S tier. Yeah.
It's a Charlie Kaufman movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's grab Baby Geniuses. Have you guys seen Baby Geniuses?
I've not seen Baby Geniuses.
No. All right.
No.
We'll put it at a C. It's probably not as good as I remember.
So it is better than.
How did you see Baby Geniuses?
What do you mean? I was watching anything that was on HBO in the late 90s, early 2000s.
But you can turn the channel.
But there was not so we had, that was the only movie channel we had for free at the apartment complex where I lived.
Yeah.
So if it was on there, like Dudley Do Right, I was watching it. Dudley Do Right. I know you guys have seen this.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
All right. Well, it's not very good either. Unfortunate. Well, but it is more fun than Varsity Blues. All right. Let's grab probably one of the most controversial ones we'll talk about today. Episode 1, Star Wars.
Oh,
Phantom Menace.
This is the toughest choice in here because this is really.
Let me sell you on something.
The hype was better. The experience of seeing the movie and camping out was better, but the movie itself was not. And I never go back and rewatch it. I think it should probably be. What's the lowest we're going to do on here?
It's whatever you want. I mean, we just haven't found any movies that I feel qualify for D. We're probably being pretty generous with the C's, but I'll tell you this was my first Star Wars movie I ever saw. So I will defend this movie.
Well, okay, so here's my opinion.
Started at D list and try to move it up one, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Well, I will. I'll be mediator here for a second. Because how old were you when this came out?
Probably 13, 14 maybe.
Yeah. So that, I mean, of course it's going to be. So having.
But I rewatched this all the time.
Well, I was going to say having.
Yeah.
One time a while back, I saw a guy like on a Nerdist podcast or whatever, who like grew up with the prequels, and they were like, because they were a kid during the prequels, and they were like, I loved them. And I was just like, Star Wars are for kids. Like, that's not a bad thing to say. That's just the truth of it. I mean, like, it can be for adults too, like Muppets or anything else. Mm-hmm. But like, it is based on Flash Gordon, which was for kids, like all that stuff. So time has made me kinder to this movie. I remember the hype for this movie and camping out for it and all that stuff too. And like, it came out while I was in New Mexico over the summer. Like I was in camp or whatever, but so we didn't have like a huge theater. It was the beginning of the multiplex, like the big mega multiplexes, but they hadn't reached out in New Mexico at the time. So it was still like an old school, tiny little theater building that I got to see it in. And so I have really fond memories of this movie. I mean, for me, it's an A tier movie because I think that it captures all the Jedi stuff that you want. I know the acting is hokey and bad and all this other stuff.
As opposed
But
to the other Star Wars movies, which is really.
But I was going to say, as opposed to
yeah.
there's like, it's not. There are things that definitely bug me about it because the first movies are so like grungy and like handmade, and at this point George Lucas is all in on CGI, so everything looks way too clean for timeline structure and whatnot. But as just a fun adventure continuation to the Star Wars myth and lore, I think it's great. I think it's a great movie.
I'll concede to a low A.
No way,
dude. The Darth Maul scene just on its own.
I mean,
that was probably the coolest thing you saw in Star Wars until that time.
What?
The Darth Maul scene when they had that battle.
The pod races was the coolest thing I thought in those movies.
Pod races were so cool too.
The pod races were cool. But again, like you're essentially taking the concept of like Muppet Babies and adding it to Darth Vader. What if Darth Vader was a kid? What kind of shenanigans would he get into? And it was just like and even with some of the Star Wars cuts that exist out there, most of them edit Phantom Menace out or only have a few scenes in it that they use.
I would remove Attack of the Clones before Attack of the Clones before this one. Attack of the Clones, I think, is the worst one out of all the movies.
Oh, Phantom Menace is.
I like it. I even like all the banking taxation shit because then what happens to those guys? Like, so
suddenly, like 25 years later, we're gonna learn about tariffs.
Yeah, right. Should have been watching this movie.
If they had been watching this movie, they'd understand what tariffs are. But no, it's such a D-list film. It's not really rewatchable for. I just don't get anything out of it. I feel like it's very bland. Of anything,
midichlorians,
great stuff.
Total waste of Qui-Gon Jinn. They're even trying to bring it back in Obi-Wan season 2. We get him at the teaser at the end of that because we never really got the ghost version of Qui-Gon. And so, like, wouldn't it be needed if we revisited it? And the series did better than 3 films by George Lucas. And that's my argument against this.
Well, they had more time. That seems an unfair comparison.
He hadn't made a movie in 15 years, dude. What do you mean he had time?
I just mean like to the storytell. Like obviously, a show has more time to tell you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like they had time.
No. Look, Dave Filoni had his whole life to prepare for those shows. Right? I'll put it on the high B's, and that's as far, especially because Jev's on my side.
Veto. I should have a veto here and be able to knock it down a column.
No way. You already did. We wanted an A. You already knocked it down a column.
And it's even a top B.
That's where we're leaving it, Clay. The mouse has spoken. We're moving on. Let us know in the comments.
Are you taking Disney
Clay's
money?
not gonna sign off on this list. He's like, this tier does not represent my views. Listen.
Well, when we get to Wild Wild West, we'll really see.
Oh yeah, that's true. Anything else that jumps out? There's
Audition on Top Row
I've
in the
never
middle.
Seen that movie, and I don't think I ever want to.
Yeah, you know, this is top tier horror that still terrifies people and is horrific. It is excellent. It's one of those that you want to watch with a group for how much it should disturb you, and you don't want to be alone in.
I've never seen this movie, so I don't even know if I've ever heard of this movie.
So this man loses his wife and essentially auditions women to be his next partner, and he gets this woman who then kind of discovers everything she went through and then tortures him in just the most painful way. I'm simplifying it, but like the torture is just,
I hear it's very
brutal.
close to like a snuff film.
Yeah. And you're just not ready for it because you think you're coming from the angle of this guy who's just trying to find a wife to like, he's auditioning women. Like he's looking for, and he's basically looking for a weak woman he can kind of manipulate and everything. So he's not the best person in the world. It's his intent. And she turns that intent into pain. So that actually might be fun for some women to watch right now.
You tell us where we put it, Clay.
Shallow grave.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fun watch between 10 Things I Hate About You and She's All That.
Yeah, all right.
Break up that double feature with Audition.
Well, that's just fun placing. All right, let's do speed round because I do want to get through all these if we can. But there's a lot of things I haven't seen. Probably All About My Mother. I've never seen that. I don't know.
Never seen it.
No?
I haven't even heard of it.
Perfect. 8mm. I've never seen. That's Nick
I've
Cage
seen
movie.
it. It's decent. It wants to be a snuff film, but it's not. So it's a C.
Okay, perfect. Nick Cage. So I'm gonna put it above. Sure, why not? Midnight Summer Dream.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Oh wait, the Shakespeare?
Yeah.
A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
Oh yeah, that Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah.
That's a good movie. That's a really good movie. That's like a well, I would say that's a C tier movie. It's kind of
above Dudley Do Right.
Oh yeah, definitely the best of the C tiers.
Angela's Ashes. I've never seen it.
Isn't that based on a book that was just made up of lies?
It's on a book. I don't know about the lies.
I don't know. So, but I do know that they reference it in The Office because Jim didn't read the book.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. Anna and the King.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
All right, me neither. Great. Any Given Sunday.
Never seen all of it.
This movie. Probably somewhere in the B's.
I never watched it. It's Oliver
Stone.
Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
He went from Nixon to football. Weird.
We'll put it right below American Beauty. I think it's pretty good. Well, no, actually, we'll put it at the bottom of the B's. Bicentennial Man.
Never seen it.
I like this movie. I don't remember how good it is though. We can put it here somewhere in the C's.
For some reason, it makes me think of AI, and I'm just like, oh.
I always go like, I think it's an Isaac Asimov story, but with Robin Williams in it. So.
Yeah, Robin Williams is really good in it. I've never seen Bowfinger. Have you guys seen Bowfinger?
Bowfinger is funny. An A. It is an A. It is so good. Funny.
A where?
It
is hard to compare some of these movies. I understand.
Right that. Under Mystery Men.
Jeff, you agree?
Sure.
Jeff's like, should move on.
It's Eddie Murphy that you've never seen, and that's the best part is Eddie Murphy playing this guy.
All right. Boys Don't Cry. I've never seen
it.
Never seen it.
All right. I think we should though.
Never been in a good mood to go, I just want to be sad. What's a good sad movie to watch?
Yeah. Wow, Bringing Out the Dead, another Nick Cage movie. He released 2 of them in this year. Jesus Christ!
I saw this in the theater. I remember nothing about it. I know he's an ambulance driver. I think it's
we'll put it in. We'll have a D. That'll be our first D.
Is it a Francis Ford Coppola film or something?
I believe so.
Double Jeopardy.
Never seen.
Oh, I've seen this, and this is Ashley Judd, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
I honestly just don't remember it.
It's like a wash of like James Patterson kind of films, those kind of mysteries, Southern mysteries.
Doug's first movie.
No idea.
All right, then it's all up to me. You guys should have grown up watching Nick. We'll put it in. It's a fun A tier. You guys already know how I feel about Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
I've not seen it.
F tier.
Perfect. Election. I don't know this one. I haven't seen this one.
I've seen this.
This is a great movie.
This is a great movie.
Okay.
It's like another high school great flick. You could probably put it a B.
Who's that in the poster? I can't tell.
Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick are in this movie. Reese Witherspoon is running for class president or something.
Tracy Flick. Yeah. And he doesn't like her.
And it's just like them just going at each other the whole movie.
It's a real broken teacher. I would say it's a B flick. I definitely think it's above American Beauty.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Let's see. What is this? Existence with a Z at the end? I've never seen this.
Oh, as extends. It's a David Cronenberg film about flesh and video games, and it is really fucking weird and great at the same time. I don't think it's for everyone, but I really dug it. I would put it at a low B.
Okie doke. Let's see. Fantasia 2000. I think this is pretty good.
Never seen it.
It's pretty good. It's not as good as the original, but it does
Yeah.
have Rhapsody in Blue. So I would put it at the highest of B's or lowest of A's.
Oh, really? That high? I didn't like it
Yeah,
that
I
much.
think.
I
Wow.
was thinking B to C. So
Well,
what's
I
the
love
difference?
Rhapsody in Blue, so it gets a lot of Rhapsody in Blue points for me.
Okay, got it. Ghost Duo? I don't know what that is.
I've
It
never
looks
heard of
like
it.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, yeah, that's a Jim Jarmusch film about a guy who's an assassin. And I've watched it once, and it didn't really stick with me. I didn't get what other people were getting out of it, so I don't know. Maybe C.
We'll leave it as haven't seen since there's
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted. I've never seen that one
A.
either. A, okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I've
Never seen it. I've not
it's
seen it.
solid performances from everyone in there, but Winona Ryder, Angelina Jolie, man, fuck, Brittany Murphy. Oh shit, it's an. I may want to put it as an S tier for those 3 performances at the bottom of S.
We can put it a little bit higher in the A's.
Okay.
Right above Bowfinger. People are gonna hate this list. I love it.
Yeah, they are, because Mystery Man's so high, and I love that
Yeah.
movie.
What is this? Shit. We'll come back to that. I don't know. Something Corpse on the Haunted Hill. House on the Haunted Hill.
The remake of that.
God,
yeah.
it's so bad, but it's so fun to watch.
It's bad but fun to watch. It's a C-list movie.
Yeah,
and probably a top C. I mean, it's got to be better than Bicentennial Man.
I'm surprised, Daniel, as a horror remake, you're not fighting for S tier.
Yeah.
Life.
I've never seen Life.
Oh, Eddie Murphy Life. I've never seen this.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you get to see Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy team up, who are the biggest comics of the 80s and 90s, but I don't feel like it delivered on the level it should have.
Well,
C. I'd put it in C, bottom of C.
Okay. Magnolia. I've never seen.
This is interesting.
Magnolia.
It's good.
It's good.
It's long.
Amy Mann soundtrack is so good.
The Amy Mann soundtrack is fantastic. You get to see Tom Cruise with a weird haircut.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is in
Philip
this.
Seymour Hoffman's so
great
good.
Performance. It's like a high B, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Above Election.
Yes.
Yeah,
sure, perfect. Muppets in Space. Muppets in Space. From Space. I've
never seen it.
Oh, this is my favorite of the post Jim Henson death movies, but like before the reboots, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but it's such a weird outlier because the Muppet movies past Jim Henson's death are all over the place.
Yeah.
But I like the message this one. This one gets a lot of I feel like this is the least money making. This is everybody's nobody's seen this one. But I think it's weirdly the most entertaining of all of them. I would put this at a high B.
Above or below Magnolia?
Below Magnolia.
Okay.
Those are weird comparisons.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, yeah, it's still a Muppet movie.
Now I want to see a Muppet version of Magnolia.
I'm gonna skip this one because I can't read the title. My Favorite Martian. I've seen it. I don't think it's very good.
I don't remember.
That's weird. That's a remake of like a 60s series.
Yeah, they try, but I've never seen the Yamadas. My Neighbor, the Yamadas. I've never seen that.
Never seen it.
Okay. Never Been Kids. I think that's pretty fun. Maybe like
it's a B. It's of her films. I think it may be like lower. I think it's C list.
We'll put it.
I put it at B because I think
okay.
It's
well, then 2 B's beat my C. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore's great. Eyes Wide Shut. Kubrick. I've never seen this one.
Never seen it. Don't care to see it.
Jeff.
It's a weird movie. It's boring.
It's boring.
I mean, there was a lot of promise of weird sex scenes, which is why people went to go see it in droves, and it was not that.
Hello.
It is a D-list movie for me.
All right. Well, it is Kubrick, so I'll put it above Bringing Out the Dead.
But it is, yeah, because I think is that the movie he died doing, and they had to have somebody.
No,
else
that was AI.
That was AI.
Oh, that was
yeah.
AI.
because
Spielberg finished
because
it.
Spielberg finished it. Yeah,
That's
Notting
right.
Hill. I've never seen Notting Hill.
Never seen it.
I've only seen chunks of it. I mean, I know it's a very well loved.
Oh, we'll put it there. Not too,
yeah.
October Sky. Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Spider-Man.
Pokemon 2000. I remember going to the theaters for this.
I went to the theater to see this. I did.
I've never
Where
seen
we at,
it.
Clay? This is the beat, right, Clay? At least.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't know Pokemon and I had kids, so like,
But like the scene where like there's a really emotional gut punch at the end of this movie, or maybe I'm thinking of Pokemon the movie.
I just remember Mewtwo at the end. That was the.
Oh, then yeah, this is it. Why is it called Pokemon 2000 if it came out in 1999?
I am glad that people are going to see that we've ranked Pokemon higher than Shakespeare.
It depends on the performance of Shakespeare too, though. Remember that.
Right. Snow. What about Snow Falling and Cedars? I've never seen
Never
that.
Seen it.
All right. Sweet and Low Down. Never seen it.
Sweet and Low Down. Is that
That's the jazz movie or something? It's like about I think I've seen it, but I don't remember anything about it. It's like it's not a musical, but it's about.
It's a Woody Allen film. Never seen it.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll just leave it here. Sorry, Woody.
Can we
Actually, no. Actually, I'm not sorry.
There should be like a special category for those people.
I'll probably
the Roman Polanskis, the Woody Allens.
I'm gonna remove D because we're not gonna use it. I think there's gonna be all right. Elmo in Groverland. Never seen it.
I've never seen it.
The Best Man.
I've never seen these series.
I've never seen this. They keep making them though. I think the new one just came out on Peacock recently. Blair Witch.
S tier.
Iconic horror movie that
revolutionized the genre.
Exactly.
Where on S tier? Office Space, Toy Story.
Behind between Sixth Sense and Galaxy Quest, I think.
Exactly.
Okay. Fun.
Perfect.
The Cider House Rules. Oh God, I don't remember watching that. I think I saw it, but I don't remember.
I haven't seen it.
All right, well. The End of an Affair.
Never seen it.
Perfect. The Green Mile.
I refuse to watch this because I read the book and I love the book too much, so I can't speak on it.
What's his name?
It's an A tier for me.
What's his name? That plays John
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan is so good in this. I would say probably somewhere around here.
I put it at the top.
Okay, fair. I just felt weird having it below Bowfinger.
Yeah, I was looking at everything. I was just like, I don't think it belongs below any of those movies.
Everyone needs to revisit Bowfinger.
All right, The Haunting.
I don't know if I've.
I don't remember. There's too many haunting movies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it here.
Yeah.
The Insider. I don't think I've seen that.
I don't remember anything about it.
Right,
it's a Denzel Washington movie too.
Easy.
I haven't seen it.
The King and I. I don't think this was the animated one I saw.
The King and I.
Yeah.
I thought that's what Anna and the King was. Is that not?
Anna and the King is live action.
Oh, so it's the same movie, just
I think so.
Live action.
I think it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limey. This feels like some kind of.
Oh, the Limey is very good.
Okay,
the Limey stars the actor who played General Zod in the 77 Star Wars or Superman films. And he's a criminal, and you just follow his adventures. It's so good. Shelby's upset.
I saw that.
We don't have her favorite movie on here. And she gave me a list that I don't have with me.
Disclaimer, I didn't make this tier list. It was already on the tier maker. I didn't even know that the Drop Dead Gorgeous. But we can add it later.
Drop Dead Gorgeous is the funniest movie of that year, period.
All right. Sorry, let's wrap up the Limey though. Where would you put it, Clay?
The Limey I would put in a B, a high B, above Magnolia.
I like that nothing's getting past Stuart Little. All right, we're getting onto some bangers, but let me skip around. The Straight Story, I've never seen it or heard of this movie.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I've not seen it. I do remember it being nominated for an Oscar though.
All right, The Thomas Crown Affair.
That's a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's fun.
Where are we at?
It's like a high C, low B.
It's a high C, yeah, low B. I think it's
Above-
better than that. What's the second movie on the B tier list? The second from the bottom, the Drew Barrymore, Never Been Kissed. I think it's way better than that film.
Okay, so put it here.
Yeah,
I just skipped Existence too because it happened. Existence. The Virgin Suicides. I've heard of this movie, but I've never seen it.
It's good, but it is a dark fucking movie.
Feels intense.
It is shot beautifully, has an amazing cast. Sofia Coppola. I mean, I would probably say this is like one of her top 3 films.
Okay.
I've not seen it. This is all Clay.
It's B-list above Stuart Little.
Oh no. Stuart Little's been dethroned. What a fun thing to say. I'm gonna skip to Titus. I've never seen Titus.
Never seen it.
Titus is weird. So this is another
Hopkins?
Shakespeare. Yeah, it's Anthony Hopkins.
I
And
could
this
tell
is
on the paint.
I can't remember the director's name. She's the one that
Julie Taymor.
Julie Taymor.
Okay.
She does some. I mean, it's straight Shakespeare, but she has a lot of interesting visuals and stuff. This is probably a high B for me, but like she really plays a lot with like how she works the film and like different colors and stuff.
Above
She's
Stuart Little? Oh, you haven't seen Stuart Little.
I haven't seen Stuart Little. But I would put it below. I put it between. I put it below Magnolia.
Alrighty. Three Kings. I have actually seen this because it was once again on HBO all the time.
I watched it once, and I can't tell you what it's about.
These guys are stealing some gold while they're in conflict
in the war. Yeah,
so they're taking advantage of that. I would say somewhere around the C's, maybe like high C's.
Oh, I'd put it at a low B.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I mean, it's a really good movie. Okay, it's what's his name? I mean,
David Russell.
David Russell. I mean, he probably yelled at a bunch of people.
I was gonna say that's the movie that him and Clooney just fought. So that's what I know that movie.
Have you guys ever seen the David O. Russell, Lily Tomlin fights? Those are amazing.
No. Dude, like how dare he talk to her like that? The fucking she brings more talent to everything than he's ever had, and then he yells at her. What a cock!
Yeah.
All right, I've never seen Music of the Heart. I was trying to figure out what the title was. I couldn't read it.
Music of the Heart.
No, have you guys seen it?
Sounds familiar. I've not seen it.
All right. Topsy Turvy. That's a cool poster, though. I haven't seen it, but it is a cool poster.
I've not seen that. I think that's one of those weird movies.
Well, hold on let me read Music of the Heart. It's a 1999 American biographical musical drama directed by Wes Craven.
I like that. I like just the implication of that is really fun.
That S tier.
All right. Twin Falls, Idaho. I've never seen that.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Yeah, they went really deep in this list, but then they didn't put Drop Dead Gorgeous. That's interesting. Tumbleweeds. I've never seen that. I don't. This poster looks like the worst poster ever made for movies. All right, we're down to 3, and these are probably 2 are going to be very easy to pick. One's going to be very interesting. So first of all, The Matrix.
F.
The Matrix is an S tier film.
Yeah. I agree. Where in the S tier? That's. Woo.
It's top. I believe that this is the best movie of that year.
I would say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with that. I'm not gonna fight Clay on that. That's. Oh well, maybe I fight him with The Mummy. The Mummy to me.
The Mummy is great. The Mummy is. I've watched it again recently, and it's an A tier movie. This is really where Brandon Fraser shines as opposed to like Dudley Do-Right. Like he's the action star, and that film elevated him to another level.
I would put this maybe on the low S tiers because I love this movie. It is so rewatchable and fun.
Oh yeah,
everything works. Jeff, any thoughts? You don't like The Mummy?
This is for The Mummy. No, I love The Mummy. I put The Mummy above. For me, it goes. Honestly, I put it right behind The Matrix.
Oh, interesting.
Whoa.
I don't know if I would put it above Fight Club. That's the only other, or the
Iron Giant. Yeah, like to me, Iron Giant is solid.
Here, let's put
I
it
mean,
right above Blair Witch. How about that?
out of all, honestly, out of all of them, if I were to be like, which movie do I like? You could choose between this movie, which movie you're watching.
Yeah,
It would either be
rewatch
The
the
Mummy or
movie. Yeah.
it would either be The Mummy or Galaxy Quest right off the bat.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, and then the last, and maybe the least,
The least.
but
S tier.
I will just fight to put this not on the F column because I kind of want to leave Deuce Bigelow on himself there.
Yeah, but my question is whether it goes in front or behind Deuce Bigelow because it is an incredibly.
No, I would say the only thing I will fight you on is leaving Deuce Bigelow by itself
by
there.
itself.
So I would put this at a C ish, but
I mean, it's obviously a studio-made film that is that has been documented by Kevin Smith, but it is so bad and not fun. And even like the only thing I can think of that is fun is the song.
See, I think, well, I mean, yeah, especially when the Abbott Elementary does that bit that we talked about the other day. But I think Will Smith and Kevin Kline have a really, like, their chemistry is so much fun to follow, especially because at the time they're like fighting over who gets with Salma Hayek. Like, that's what the whole movie's about.
Yeah.
So I find that really fun.
I do think if I look at, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
Go
finish.
My brain just started doing it and didn't have any filter to my mouth. Sorry. Yeah, I'm like just comparing it with all the other movies on the C tier. I'm like, it's got to be at least as good as those,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
I
would even put it above Dudley Do Right.
Whoa.
Jawbreaker's a fucking home run too, I feel like. But I'm a Cheerleader is another great movie that we don't have on the list.
I think this movie tier list is definitely a little biased. Shelby,
have y'all seen Jawbreaker? Oh, okay. So what I'm gonna take from this is you guys need to see two films, and it's Go and Jawbreaker. Perfect 99 films, home runs. But I'm also assuming that you've seen Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I haven't. I
haven't either.
Okay, three movies. Drop Dead Gorgeous. I guarantee you'll come back and say it's an A tier film.
I mean, I do know that they are cult classic. Yeah. I know that they're
Amy Adams' first film, and she's fantastic in it. Kirsten Dunst is fantastic in it, and she's already on the list from Virgin Suicides. Like, oh my God, there's just so much fun stuff in there that's hilarious.
So I looked up who won Academy Awards for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Best Picture went to American Beauty. Kevin Spacey won Best Actor. For American Beauty. Hilary Swank won for Best Actress for Boys Don't Cry. Angelina Jolie won Best Supporting for Girl Interrupted. Michael Caine won for Cider House Rules, which is not on this list.
Michael Caine.
I thought Cider House Rules was in there. We just hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, was it in there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll Be in My Heart, best song for Phil Collins. All About My Mother was the best international film. The Red Violin won for best original score. The Matrix won for best visual effects. Topsy Turvy, best costume design.
All right.
Wild Wild West won for the worst picture. Well, that's not an Academy Award, but it won something. Somebody gave it a worst picture award.
Get on the board.
Anyway, just some of the things that where awards fell.
There it is, your definitive, no argument, pure rankings for 1999 movies. So.
Oh wow! So I looked at the movies that made the least, and there is a movie called Zizak Road that came out that year that made $30.
Pretty good.
But
I mean, I will say tickets back then were like $3 for a matinee.
Yeah.
So,
but Angela's Ashes, Anna and the King, and the 13th Warrior were all the biggest flops of that year.
Anna and the King looks expensive just from the poster, for sure.
Yeah.
The 13th Warrior is Antonio Banderas. I knew
Yeah.
that.
I
think
forgot
there were
about
a lot
that.
of movies left off this list, but I think we got the core. We got the core of it. So great. That was fun. We'll probably do it again. Maybe find a list with. Maybe if I find a list for 1986 movies, I'll run it by the guys before we finalize it.
Yeah,
It'd
because
be
I'm
fun
also
to do a
seeing.
list from like what do we know from like 1963? Something weird like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a 60s. We probably would have a grab a decade just because movies weren't as prolific back then, and we want to have more than 10 movies on the thing.
Yeah.
They weren't releasing. They were releasing more than 10 movies a year back in '63, though.
You don't know that.
Okay. So some of the movies that I see that are missing are like Princess Mononoke,
Yeah.
Jawbreaker, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Idle Hands, Detroit
Ooh, Idle
Rock
Hands.
City, Mumford.
Mumford.
It was a Jason Lee movie I remember that I liked.
Maybe
Rush
we'll
Hour.
do-
Rush Hour came out in '99. Dick,
Are you-
Oh, they've
Okay,
seen a
yeah,
lot of
there's a lot
movies
of
then.
movies
Jack
missing.
Frost.
We might
Michael
have to do a
Keaton
part
or Michael Keaton, Jack Frost, or the horror movie Jack Frost?
Good question. I think it's the Michael Keaton one because it made money.
2. Alrighty.
Yeah,
Clay, do you have to step away?
I need to step away. Also, 200 Cigarettes is on there, and that's a good one. Run,
right.
Lola, run.
Can you stay for 2 more minutes while I
Yeah.
go to the restroom so we don't leave Jeff alone?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I was about to do a song and dance number. Hello, my baby. Hello, honey.
There's like I'm seeing like, wait a minute, what is Twin Dragons? Was that
Never heard of it.
Identical twins are separated at birth, one becoming a streetwise mechanic and the other an acclaimed classical concert conductor.
A streetwise mechanic.
Yes. Finally meeting in adulthood, they become mistaken for each other and entangled in each other's world. Like, you're a conductor. What the hell's happening? Pushing 10, that was a John
Kevin
Cusack
Costner.
film.
Oh no, the Pushing 10 was you're right.
Yeah, that was
10 Cup is what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Mystery Alaska, the one about hockey. Do you remember that movie? It was
I do remember Mystery Alaska. That was I remember.
Teaching Mrs. Tingle. 3 to Tango. Bats. Do you know Bats?
I know Bats. Well, this is all like from all my years at working at Half Price Books. I'm just like I can see every single cover pop into my head as you name them.
Oh, another one of the really bad films of that year, Chill Factor. Do you remember this?
I don't remember Chill Factor.
Okay, Chill Factor was a movie about oh my God, Skeet Ulrich and who's the Show Me the Money guy? Show
Tom
Me
Cruise?
the Money.
Tom
No,
Cruise?
no.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, those two are in this, and they have an ice cream truck that has to keep this thing frozen or it'll blow up. It's like ice cream but speed, kind of theme. Oh my God, that movie looks terrible. Yeah, but I mean, we did drop a bunch of terrible movies out of the list, but then I'm kind of curious to watch that Twin Dragon movie though.
Maybe we'll add some of those movies that Clay named and do
the Mod Squad Waterboy.
What was the second one? Mod Squad and what?
Waterboy.
Oh, Waterboy. Wow.
Definitely missed a lot. All right. Clay, feel free to step away now. Thank you. All right. While Clay gets back, do you have anything that you got? Actually, you got a bunch of stuff that you watch. So let's talk about that first, Jeff. What did you watch?
I watched. I saw Lisa Frankenstein at the beginning of the week.
That's the Zelda Williams directed movie, right?
Yeah, with Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse. It is a light retelling of Frankenstein in a 80s kind of 90s period comedy, dark comedy, a la Heathers, I guess. It's a great. Have you seen it or no?
I have not seen it. I want to, but I haven't seen it.
It's on Prime, I think, is where I watched it. But yeah, it's fantastic. I really like Catherine Newton, and it just kind of goes to like my like when are they going? I know there's an unannounced Marvel movie that's probably Young Avengers, but I'm just like, when are we going to get it? Because all these young actors, like I really enjoy like watching them in other films, and I'm like, why are they not making Marvel movies right
Yeah.
now?
Have you seen the body change slasher she's in with Vince Vaughn?
I've not. I know which one you're talking about, but
It's really fun. It's really, really fun. I forget the name. I think it may be just called Slash. But yeah, anyways, it's really fun.
yeah.
'Cause yeah,
But this is a really Lisa Frankenstein's really fun. Really dark. Cole Sprouse does a good job. I mean, he doesn't have any lines really. He's just playing a wordless monster. But yeah, it's really fun. It's a really good throwback to dark like teenage comedies of the 90s and 2000s.
nice.
Also, just because I needed some comfort television,
Here we go.
I started watching Hallmark movies. Hallmark on Peacock, they have the live stations that you can go to. So you
Oh,
can go to
okay,
their
cool.
actual
Yeah.
live Hallmark cable channel, and they've started streaming Christmas movies 24/7 now. So I just have it on in the background, just running. I don't know exactly specifically which movies I'm watching. I just know somebody's Christmas themed ice cream parlor or whatever is about to go out of business, and that person needs to fall in love real fast with a business venture capitalist who has just learned the meaning of Christmas.
And he'll leave it all behind.
And they'll leave it all behind to help run the Christmas themed ice cream shop or whatever it may be. I did see one the other day that was called the 5-year Christmas party or something like that. And
Yeah.
it was the first uh, Hallmark Christmas movie that I saw where the leads were definitively younger than I am. Like usually the Hallmark leads are probably in their late 40s, early like all look great, but they're all like, you know, people that you can tell they're in their late 40s, early 50s or whatever. Most of them middle-aged, but these people were definitely in their 20s in this Hallmark movie, and
Yeah.
I was offended. Honestly,
How dare you cast
how
younger
dare
people?
they? But I did find out that in Kansas City this year, I guess this is where the Hallmark headquarters are. They've created their own little Hallmark kind of Christmas themed
Like
park,
an amusement park?
like an amusement park where you can go, and they have like little shops that you can shop around and ice skating rinks. And it's adjacent. So that's like the outdoor part. And then it's adjacent to like a convention center of some sort. And they have all the like actors that are in all these movies annually doing like Q&As. And it's almost like a Hallmark Christmas convention sort of / theme park that they're opening them up for the next
And then
2 months.
all the little businesses are going out of business.
Yeah. Yeah. They all need capitalists to come in and save them and learn the meaning
Right.
of Christmas.
It's
But
like
I'm excited for
the Spirit Halloween closes, and then the Hallmark Christmas thing
the
opens.
Hallmark Christmas things open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love a good Hallmark Christmas movie. They're just so much fun.
Have you seen one?
I've seen them all.
Zing.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad you were able to find comfort on the Peacock.
Yeah. Oh, it's always there. It's always there.
Peacock is always there for you, and that's what they
Uh-huh.
don't tell you when you sign up for it. All these other streaming services,
They'll leave you
they just
behind.
let you have to figure it out on your own. Actually, is Peacock the only one that has live channels like that? I think
I think
it is. Out
so.
of the like big paid ones, like Disney and Hulu don't have it. Netflix, I believe they were introducing live channels.
I don't think they do. They'll do like live. Like I think they'll all do live things, but they
Yeah,
won't do live stream channels.
which is weird because like sometimes I just want to throw something on and not worry about it, even if it's gonna be like ads in between or whatever.
I
Right?
mean, that's 100% how I would if I could travel back in time and restructure like a network or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna have our own website or whatever, our own place, but then we're gonna just stream a live, kind of like what I was saying before. with the Saturday morning cartoons. You give me a block where I can just put it on and have it alter what I'm watching, but I can just, mindlessly have it on in the background. And it's stuff that I, what.
Makes sense. Yeah. No, I would have probably really enjoyed. I mean, yeah, I don't want to make the decision of like what to watch. Just give me something that's already on.
Yeah.
And I'll probably watch it or rewatch it or at least have it on while I do something else. Other than
I think perfect
live events.
For me, perfect television is like old school TNT, like midday, when they would show these blocks of like Supernatural, then Buffy, and then like an old Battlestar, and then they would just alter it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they switched to doing like 3 episodes of something like that. Like, I think they used to do like maybe they still do 3 episodes of like Supernatural in the morning and then Bones and like I don't want to watch 3 back to back. I want to watch 1. Although that being said, on Wednesdays I usually just have on USA because it's all like Law and Order SVU all day, pretty much.
Yeah,
but there's so much of that. Like you never know which decade of SVU you're gonna get when you tune in.
Yeah, because that is kind of like watching 3 different shows. Like that can be
almost,
even though it's one show. Yeah,
the cast.
There's so many different casts. Yeah.
So, all right, nice. Anything else? Do you watch anything else?
I mean, no, not really. A bunch of depressing news.
What channel were those on? I don't know if I saw that.
I don't know what news you were watching, but no, that's about it. That's all I've been watching. Really, I've been watching. Yeah, I went straight to the comfort TV after Tuesday. So
okay.
I went to Hallmark Christmas movies. I started watching. Comfort television for me is also QVC because I like the live aspect of it.
That's interesting.
Sometimes they'll take live phone calls, which I love it when they do that because it's just
do you
old
ever
people.
Call in?
I want to. I've never like in the time frame where I see it happening. I'm just like I can't do it. Whatever.
We should make this a call-in show.
It would be fun. I would love it. We'll give you advice.
What are we doing?
We're turning this into a call-in show.
Let's do it.
All right. I only have one big thing that I watch. I watch a lot of TV, but it was all mainly like the same stuff. I will say, if you haven't watched Abbott Elementary this season, man, it's really fun. I caught up on What We Do in the Shadows. I realized that I skipped like one episode. The one you guys were talking about with Jeff, I think. But now I'm all caught up. But the thing I watched this week that I really enjoyed, and I went through the whole season, even though it's only 8 episodes. Special Ops Lioness. This is the Zoe Saldana show with Nicole Kidman and Morgan Freeman, and it's about these women this team in the CIA that uses women to infiltrate targets and their surroundings. So the first season ended last year, but then the second season just dropped, so it kind of brought it back up to like, oh, maybe I should check that out. It's pretty good. What Taylor Sheridan knows what he's doing apparently with all these TV shows that he's doing. Interestingly enough, I found out this week or last week, I think. Kevin Smith was talking about it and Fat Man Beyond that. I didn't realize who Taylor Sheridan was. Like, I've never Googled the person. But he was in Sons of Anarchy, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
He was the original sheriff or deputy sheriff that eventually, spoiler alert, for like season 2 or 3, eventually got killed. So apparently he gets fired up from that show. That's why his character gets killed. And then he goes into writing. And that's when he starts doing all these other TV shows. So I guess, Kurt Sutter.
Wow.
Yeah, Kurt Sutter firing him probably
launched his career.
Yeah. Because you can't. It's either. I think there's only 2 people that make TV nowadays, and that's Ryan Murphy or Taylor Sheridan. I think they between them two. Oh, and Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf will never stop.
Shonda Rhimes. And then that's it. And then Tyler Perry's out there somewhere too.
Reba McEntire will also never stop having a sitcom. She's the same. The new one is so bad. Like, I was like, I wanted to.
Why did he? I want to know why he got fired off of the other. Like, was he rewriting his lines and he's like, "Oh, this is I can rewrite it."
Maybe I don't really know. They didn't go into detail. I can only tell you what Kevin Smith told me. So, all right, Clay, let's talk about what you watch, and then we'll switch into comics.
I love horror movies, and I'll come on here and pitch horror movies. I was excited about talking about Audition earlier, but I watched a movie that is one of those that I'm just going to give with a warning, and it's called The Sadness, because it truly is one of the darkest films I've ever watched. It's on Shudder.
Hold on, so real quick before you do that, you just felt like this week was the best week to go into that.
I watched it before. I watched it before.
Oh, so you were trying to. So you were like the frog in boiling water, just trying to get used to it. So hey, smart.
Well, it was a movie that had started, and it started to get really like gory. And Shelby goes, "I'm out. Like, I'm not gonna watch this." So I just wait. Whenever I can watch the film she doesn't want to watch, I watch. And so I put on The Sadness, and it truly is one of the darkest, most demented things I've ever seen. This is one of those that I will put out there with a warning. It's not entertainment. It's not fun. It is someone who just wants to put the darkest shit on TV and make it sad by the end. The whole story is this couple at the beginning who start their day, go to work, go out. Zombie apocalypse happens, but it's not quite, it's rage zombies. So it's runners. It's, it's ones that fully on will commit acts of violence together. That's their zombie motif in this. And then it's just disturbing. It's attacks on women. It's violence. It's gore. And by the end, you're just tired and exhausted. And then you get a sad ending. And it's like, okay, well, that was sadness. Yeah. And so for the people who like love great horror and that kind of shit, like, I don't even feel like it's great horror. I just feel like it's very demented. So if you find demented as entertainment, The Sadness is your deal, because it was weird. And then I got into a weird thing. I was on the Shudder subreddit, and I had somebody post about a film. Have you ever read like a review and then it made you wanted to watch the movie, but the review was a bad review? This guy was like so upset at this movie called Azrael that's currently on Shudder as well, that he was just like, I watched 5 minutes and turned it off. And I was like, well, it's got to make it past that, because it has Samara Weaving in it, who I'm a big fan of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm in it for her. And so, but the whole movie is in silence, because it is a post-rapture film where the people who have survived the rapture have had their voices taken as their sin. So there's no dialogue. And it's just people. It's just the madness of the people left. But the twist at the end is worth staying for. Like, if you don't dig any, like, I read this guy's review and I'm like, I can last 5 minutes. And then I went 10 minutes and then I could keep going. And so I got all the way to the end, to the twist at the end, and it's worth it for the twist at the end. So Samara Weaving's great. I watched that movie just because of her. And one of my favorites of hers is Mayhem. But Azrael ends on such a dark note, and it's worth watching. I say check it out.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's fantastic. The only thing, this is such a petty little qualm, but she has to go through so much fighting and shit, but she is not built like somebody who can take all the beatings that happen in it. She gets buried alive at one point. There's like all this stuff that happens to her that's so dark, but she doesn't just look like somebody who's built for the post-rapture world, but that's just a petty little thing of mine. Everything else I watched for fun. So it was like I revisit, because the night of the election I went and I was like, let's watch Edgar Wright movies. I love all his movies. So we did Shaun of the Dead, we did Hot Fuzz. I mean, and those are great, but we didn't do his third trilogy of the Cornetto films, because that one ends a little darker than the other ones.
Yeah.
So we just Shaun of the Dead still great, holds up. Another one that's almost 25 years old. I think it's a 2001.
think that's my favorite of the three.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is a home run. The thing I love about watching his films is he never wastes a moment on camera, and Shaun of the Dead is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
I watched. My wife loves these like gothic mysteries. My wife, and the books in the stores that have like a mansion in the background and a woman in the front who's like wearing this kind of see-through thing. Like that's all gothic books and stuff. So I saw this movie pop up in my feed and I was like, well, maybe she'll dig this. This is like this gothic mystery. And it's called Blackwater Lane. It's on Hulu, or was it Hulu or Peacock? It was one of those. And it was weird because it was like a Hallmark gothic movie. It wasn't done like, there was not really a lot of a supernatural element to it, but it definitely came across as very light in the material it was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Minka Kelly from Friday Night Lights and Charlie's Angels is in it. She's okay, but it's weird because she's married to
Mulroney.
Who's like twice her age. Yeah, it was okay. And then I watched Wolves on Apple Plus. The
Brad Pitt, George
Clooney film, because my friend, I don't know, this is a sideways compliment she gave me. She goes, in the movie Wolves, there are times when George Clooney like looks like you. And I'm like, what? I was like, no, there's no way George Clooney. And she goes, well, yeah, like there's these scenes where it looks like he's really having to eat a turd, and that looks just like you. And she's like, your frown face. And I was like,
that's funny.
Oh, thank you. She's like, he's got the beard and everything. So we put it on and watched it. It's an okay film. It's fine. If you had paid for it in the theater, I think you'd be bummed out. But like, if you want to put it, if it's your second screen while you're doing something, and it's all right.
There's like a really fun sequence that I enjoyed. I was just hoping to get a little more out of them being back together, because big oceans guy right here, so.
Yeah, so that's what I watched. I would say like Wolves is a okay film. It's a C tier, but like their interactions is the main reason for watching those movies.
Yeah, we do have a review for that on the channel if somebody wants to check that out. Cool. Let's talk about comics to close out. Let me go through some of my highlights, and Jeff, feel free to jump in. Actually, let's talk about this one first. Absolute Superman came out this week. Man, what a fun world they're building over there. But this one is really good. Like I was telling the guys maybe before the show, if I had to rank them, it's like it's at the bottom of the list between Absolute, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, but it's still really good. I really love what Jason Aaron kind of is doing with the world. My main complaint was that I feel like this one should have been a little bit longer, so we could actually, because you kind of get two stories. You get the story of Krypton, and you get the story of like Kal-El being on Earth, but you get a little bit short service with one of those because there's so much on the other one. But either I really enjoyed it. And who is it? Rafa Sandoval. His art, it just really works for this.
I definitely enjoyed the changes, the slight tweaks to the origin story of Superman. I like that there's also callbacks to like his original comics origin, where he's like a social warrior, kind of like going in and helping these miners that are mining, whatever that. And then, of course, the original Superman would take out slumlords and whatnot back in the 30s. It was an interesting read after this week, because it is definitely a fighting off the oppressors kind of storyline. I really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more than Absolute Batman. Maybe not quite as much as I think Batman is probably but again, it's not like you said before. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. None of them. That's not to say that any of them are bad, but if you had to rank them, that's just how I would rank them.
Which is what people love list.
Yeah, people can't get by without them. We love power structures. But I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I'm gonna obviously keep reading it. The
Same.
DC has blown it away with this little imprint that they're building.
Oh, this absolute stuff is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Okay. I'm gonna go through some just of the recommendations, but first, I don't know if you guys saw. Somebody told me before I read it. In Frankenstein #3, they printed my email that I sent when the first one came out.
Whoa,
So that's cool. So yeah. So if you pick
So
this
this
up,
is the how many letters a week are you writing? Is where I'm curious now.
I'll tell you this. I sent one for this G.I. Joe issue. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it because we'll run out of time, but I definitely sent one in right after I read the issue. But usually only do it when I really like something. And Image is one of the ones that I send it to most just because I feel like they really I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't click anything. But yeah. Another highlight of the week for me, the Ultimates #6, the conclusion of
That's
the
a
first
good one.
arc. If you're a fan of Iron Fist, I think you're gonna really enjoy this book. That's all I'll say. I do love and appreciate that all the Marvel titles have a tribute
yeah.
page to John Cassaday.
so good.
I think this month DC is doing the same. They also had one, but I think Cassaday was more prolific on the Marvel side. But on the creator-owned side, he had his own series over at Vertigo. So that's what DC is kind of focusing on. So really, really lovely to see that. Another thing I'll recommend, Living Hell from Dark Horse by Kaylin Yarsky. This is a really interesting book about these beings that escape from hell to have regular lives in the real world, and what happens when they're trying to keep a low profile, but about like these hounds from hell come after them to get them back, right? So it's pretty cool. I really like it. And the last thing I'll talk about, because I'm gonna do probably just another video. I've got a bunch of comics for this week, but the last thing I'll talk about, just for sake of time, FML, #1 from Dark Horse. Kelly Sue DeConnick is back doing comic books, which is really fun.
Yeah.
With David Lopez, so the team from Captain Marvel. It's a really cool kind of coming of age, supernatural, rock and roll storyline. And I mean, Kelly Sue DeConnick has rarely let me down, so I'm always going to check out a #1 from her. So, but that's the highlights. And I picked up this previews because it had Wolverine on it. So.
People are going crazy over that Wolverine.
I'm excited. Chris Conlon's a great writer. Like if you like Texas Blood or the Enfield Massacre spinoff, like yeah, you're in for a treat. Jeff, what about you? Let's talk about some of the comics you read.
I don't think you talked about this, but we got the second issue of Alien versus Avengers or Avengers Aliens.
Yeah.
Todd Ribbick's art is just so beautiful.
Oh.
I love his work.
Yeah, it's just and I do like that they're definitely staying true to some of the Aliens lore. I'm not like a super huge deep cut Aliens, like I don't know all the stuff, but I know enough to be like, oh, they're definitely pulling from all kinds of movies, you know. So that's pretty cool. It's I mean, 2 issues in, it's still great. The most recent issue of Birds of Prey, this is a great issue because we've got one of the birds is on a mission by themselves trying to infiltrate whatever, blah blah blah. But while that is happening in the background, it's Black Canary going around and being like, it's just one of those quieter issues where she has conversations with each different member of the team, and it's just such a great character building issue that I'm always blown away by that.
Yeah, so cool.
And then Avengers, the most recent Avengers 20. It's really interesting. It's T'Challa is kind of on his own mission inside like a pocket, not dimension, but someplace.
It's happening simultaneously to 18. So while the other Avengers are doing what they did, this one T'Challa is doing that.
Yeah, so he's kind of off on his own, and he's weird. It's a weird T'Challa kind of psychological profile.
Yeah,
as he's slowly leading this revolution behind this in this little pocket area, and he's just like, "Am I doing it for them? Or am I doing it for me? Because I used to be king of not
yeah.
deposed kind of
I've
thing."
been ousted as a king, and I
Yeah,
would have enjoyed it more if I wasn't so hyped for all the Doom stuff that's going on in the other story.
yeah.
Like if this was just on its own, but like I want to know what happens next on the other stuff. So like, I gotta wait now another month. So that's my only complaint about it, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then I have just a whole stack of comics that I
Yeah.
have not gotten to yet. So,
One last thing
including
I'll show you, I forgot, and this is kind of cool. DuckTales
Whoa.
number
oh, that
one,
is cool.
the shiny DuckTales number one. All right,
Did you read this, the new JSA title?
I did. I was kind of mid on it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because it's using some of I'm gonna call them Gen 2 JSA characters, where I'm a more of a fan of like the original
The
roster.
original ones. It's Jeff
Also,
Lemire, so
yeah,
that's why I was.
that's why I picked it up. Uh, Obsidian also kind of looks like Blue Beetle, and that threw me off for like most of the issue until he starts doing Obsidian things, and I'm like, that's
Wait
not
a
Blue
sec.
Beetle. What the hell?
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. Clay, what about you?
Oh, I've just been able to pick up some random comics up over at Half Price Books and revisited one of my childhood favorites of Micronauts. Yeah, so I've been going back through some Micronauts books and reading those. Did you guys ever read these? Bill Mantlo just kind of creates a world for toys. I mean, this was a toy line that came out that wasn't, Transformers or any of the other, G.I. Joe level type toys.
Yeah.
But the stories are all fun and the art's fantastic. So I know that they hadn't been able to collect them until this year, but a lot of old issues have shown up at Half Price Books. I've been able to pick up that are nice. And Shelby grabbed me a couple of Power Man Iron Fists, a 2-in-1 with the Thing, where for 2 pages, Luke Cage will just play a video game. But through the video game, he learns. And that's the weirdest part of this story. Colleen Wing in this one, this has Dr. Druid show up, who's a weird villain. Yeah, but he is here to help Luke get to Kunlun because he can't get to Kunlun anymore. And Colleen has become a little bit stronger because for some reason, Danny has radiation poisoning. I don't know. It was just a random issue. So it's like, where did this come from? But yeah, so I've just been reading random old stuff that I've been able to pick up at a half price. It looks like it's probably not going to be no new books for me for a while. So it's going to be tough to keep up with you guys. I'm going to have to wait for libraries to pull collections and things. So I may not be able to comment on the latest new stuff.
Luckily, some of the other imprints, not DC and Marvel, but everyone else, seems to send us comics. So
yeah,
we can always talk about those too, because there's a lot of really good stuff on the indie stuff. Hopefully, maybe next week we can talk about that Judge Dredd book I sent you guys, because I really I need to go back and finish it.
Okay.
Brand New World. So let's keep that.
I would like to talk about G.I. Joe next week, because that I do want to talk about Joe.
Yeah,
I did read that and I enjoyed that.
Okay, we'll kind of sign off with that. I also very much enjoyed G.I. Joe, but next week we can go like into full spoilers. I'll probably have a brief. We were gonna do a review here, but we're running out of time. So
have you seen the animated G.I. Joe movie?
I have not. So it was nice that everything was very neatly labeled for me.
Yeah,
for the most part.
right.
I will say this: when I was putting together like the slideshow for the review, they have 48 covers, and I don't know if when you open the book. Well, if you open the book and you look at the credits page and the PDF,
yeah,
there's like 1 million names on the covers, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because most of the covers are either the Baroness or the Chameleon, which are the two ladies, or Cover Girl, like
Cover Girl,
one of the three, which is like, all right, I guess we want a little bit of cheesecake on our G.I. Joe comic, which is understandable, I guess. And so yeah, we'll look forward to that. But I think overall we all recommend you pick up G.I. Joe #1.
Definitely.
Even if you're not up to date with all the other series, I think you can still kind of jump in on this one.
Yeah, it's very basic beginning.
Also, in December, Transformers, it's getting its 10th printing of issue number 1. It's going to printing for a 10th time. So they'll probably do one of those really cool gold status, whatever print. So, okay, let's go on our recommendations and get out of here because it's been 2 hours, and that's all we are contractually obligated to keep these guys here. What do you got, Clay? I think you wrote down something, so let's start with you.
Yeah, just because I revisited Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, I feel that Edgar Wright has a perfect resume of films, and it's worth visiting every single one of his films. Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz, World's End, Last Night in Soho, which is kind of outside of like his kind of weird nerdy films, is fucking fantastic. It is a great film and has such style to it. And then probably my favorite is Scott Pilgrim. I mean, that's a film that every time the Alamo releases it in the theaters, me and my wife will go see it because to me, he is a director that I have connected with since Space. So he kind of has that Gen X sensibility in his storytelling, especially the way you see it in Shaun of the Dead. But I love the way he used music in Baby Driver. Like there's so many, he has so many fucking talents and skills that I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see his Running Man, and they're filming it right now.
I would say The World's End is probably my least favorite film from him, but it's still pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So great. Jeff, do you have anything?
I didn't really plan anything, but I did while I was streaming or scrolling through Peacock while looking for my holiday movies. I did notice that they put The Oval on there. The Oval being the Tyler Perry President television show. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I might have recommended it before, but it is batshit crazy. Definitely worth a watch. There's like weird cultists involved.
Oh yeah.
Where was that president on our bracket last week, huh?
It's fucking nut. Like the full out, like there's a fist fight between the first lady and the president, like in the first episode, like full on drag down. Like it's an insane television show. Definitely worth the watch.
That's funny. I see commercials for that when I'm watching like, I don't know, stuff on cable, like because they're all like the same. It's all whatever Turner or whoever owns all that Viacom.
Yeah.
So I get commercials for that, and I'm like, "What is this show?"
It is,
and
insane.
I guess people watch it because they're announcing more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna recommend. Next week we get the second issue of Batman. This is the Ashcan that I picked up earlier.
Cool.
But Absolute Batman #2 comes out next week, and I just can't wait to see like after where we left off in the last issue. I'm very excited for it. So yeah, check it out. Make sure to check it out. So that's it. That's all the time we have. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We know it's hard out there, and I don't have any words of wisdom.
Find your community and support your community. Find your friends that are going to need help and help them. Be the change you want to see in the world because there's no one coming and you are the adults now.
There are no adults. That's the problem. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Please take care of yourselves. And stay tuned here. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The most important thing in life will always be
El Bibo.